Hi guys, it's Breacher18 and we're going to be taking a look at a game that is coming soon to Kickstarter in September in fact, called Creature College by Happy Otter Games. Let's go and take a look at it. This is a 3-player setup of Creature College. So as you can see, I've already set it up. So we'll look at the main player board to start off with. So I've set these up into piles of 3. There's an equal amount of cards in each of these piles, and these represent the terms. So we've got autumn, winter, and spring. Each of these decks contain a creature called Kevin the Gigapig, but we'll come to that more in detail in a second. This is your player order track here, so this obviously determines the order that you get to bid in. You have the victory points cards here, the element track cards, and the battle gems. We've got battle cards there which help you modify your creatures and make them stronger and equip them with stuff. You've got some battle gems, you've got some dice, and this is your score sheet here. So things that are totaled in the game are battle gems. The second one is your point tracks, which are here. So as you can see, you can earn points along that track there. Then you've got the M for missions, which is here. So everyone is dealt 3 mission cards face down, and then you choose which one you want and you discard the other 2. And the same with your ability cards here. So you're dealt 3 cards, you choose which one you like, and the other 2 are discarded. So normally the mission cards are face down, they're in secret, but just obviously so you know what I'm talking about, I've left them all face up just so it makes it a bit more easier. The other thing is victory points, which is the little cup, and then once you've tallied all of that up, gives you your overall score, and the highest score wins. So that's the object of the game. So how do we play? Well, each turn is split up into 2 sections, so the bidding phase and then the battle phase. The battle phase begins at the end of each term. So as you can see here, we've got 3 bidding phases and then the battle phase. So that's the same for winter and spring. Once you've hit the last battle phase in spring, that is the end of the game. So this is my player board here. So I've got Vanessa, and she's an adventure and jungle diva, so obviously very much like me. And then we've got our bidding tokens here, and they go from 1 to 9. We've got our mission, we've got our ability, and then we've got these empty spaces here called research labs, and we've got our element tracker here. So being as this is a 3-player game, what we do is we start obviously in autumn, and because it's 3 players, 4 cards are drawn. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the cards that are drawn this round. Okay, so starting with the player with the biggest ears, because we haven't established a player order yet, the player with the biggest ears goes first. So we'll say it's me, which is so not true because I have tiny ears. I decide which bidding token I want to place on which card. So as you can see, these cards are different colours. So we've got grey and brown out at the moment, which represents earth and air. Now if we look over at our mission objective, we get 25 points here for completing this mission. And this just means how many creature cards of a particular colour we have. And we have to at least get that particular combination. So we have to have at least 1 brown, 5 grey, 1 red and 1 green. Okay, so we need to think of that when we're going to bid. So we need quite a lot of grey. So I'm going to bid 4 on this grey one here. Bear in mind, once you've actually used a bidding token, you can't use it again for the rest of the games. So you need to think about how crazy you go with those bidding tokens, because you don't really want to go in with the highest tokens. You might want to save them throughout the game, but something to bear in mind is that if you use the 9, that can't be bounced, and by bounced I mean by this. Wait 1 second. So we've bid on that, and it goes to the next player. So we'll say it's purple. I know this is going anti-clockwise, but it's just closest to me. It makes it easier. And they're going to bid 5 on the same one as me. Now, they wouldn't necessarily do that. There's no reason to really do that because there's a spare one there, which is exactly the same card. But, for example, if they did place that there, because it's a higher number than mine, that would bounce mine. So I would then have to choose a place hasn't got a bidding token on it, or if it's got a lower bidding token, it can then bounce theirs. But so I'm just going to place it there. So they've bid there, and that's bounced it to mine. So that's what I mean by bounce. And then it goes to the red player. They could do something like this if they really, really wanted to. So they could bid 5 and put it on here, which would mean mine would bounce again. So now I have to choose either the 2 either end ones to choose from. So I'm going to go for this one because it's got a fighting level of 5, so it's obviously higher than the 3. So and bigger numbers are better usually, so that's what I'm going to do. So once everyone's bid on the round, any cards that weren't bid on are discarded. So we just take that and chuck that to one side, and then people then take their cards respectively as to which ones they've bid on, and then that sets a turn order starting with the highest one. So we've got purple and red here tie first place, so I'll automatically go third because they're both tied in bid because they bid 5 each. We do it in the order, they basically stay in the order that they were. So we went anti-clockwise, so it would be purple. So so they would go first, and then it would go red second. So that basically sets the turn order for that particular round of bidding. Now we've all taken, so we take our tokens back and we flip them over just to symbolise that we've used it and we can't use it again. So I'll take my 4 back and put it there. Then we'll take the 5 back and we'll put it there. And then we all take our cards that we got. So that one, and then I got this dude here. Okay, when you grab your creature that you bid on, you move your element track. So we just quickly move that up on 1, and then it's the same with this one. So it gets 1 in grey, so it's air, and then that one's grey too, so that gets 1 in air. Cool. So because yeah, these are totaled at the end. So once we've done that, then in turn order according to this player order track here, we then roll these 2 dice. So starting from purple, so I'll roll for purple. They rolled a 1 and a gem and a trophy. So that basically means they can either draw 1 of these battle deck cards here, or they can choose a battle gem card, or they can use a victory point card. Right, just to explain, these cards are placed in these research labs here. Once placed, they can't be moved, and you can't place things over the top of them. So you've got 5 slots, so you need to bear that in mind. So purple, I think they're going to draw 1 battle card. So they're going to draw 1 battle card. And these are what the battle cards are. Basically, they're different things that give you buffs. So this gives me 2 battle points. Okay, so they will take that there. These are kept in hand, usually in secret, because obviously you can use them to manipulate gameplay. So that's that turn, and then it goes over to red. So I do the same. So I roll the dice, and I've got 1. I'm probably going to go. So I've got gem or an element track that I can take. I'm going to go for a battle gem card. So here you go. I've got +1 to battle gem. So every time I win a battle gem, I get +1, which is awesome. So I place that there, and then it goes to the next player who does exactly the same thing. Once everyone's done that, it then goes to the next bidding phase. So this moves across, and we do the same again. So we draw cards from this season here. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice I'm drawing 4 cards. It's because it's a 3-player game, so obviously the amount of cards drawn depends on how many players are in the game. it's the same with the stacks of cards as well, that the setup is slightly different depending on the amount of players, which is all in the instruction booklet, so I'm not going to go over that, but it just basically means that the game's balanced, which is a really good thing. So, right, these are our 4 cards. So we've got some really cool stuff here, and I need a green to do my mission. So I ended up with a brown. That's fine, because I do need a brown. That's cool. So I'm going to be mainly bidding for the green, but if we look at the turn order, I'm last. So purple's going to bid before me, then red, and then it's my go. But that gives you basically an overview as to a turn. Let's have a look at our abilities. So mine allows me to take 2 battle cards and choose one. So before, I actually chose a battle gem. But say if I'd have decided to go with the white dice and choose the battle cards, it just means that I could have taken 2 and then decided to have, you know, kept 1, which gives me an advantage because it means I can choose the best out of 2 cards. And then this one here is +2 to water in battle. So any time that they use a water creature, that they get +2 in battle, and red has +2 to earth in battle. We now get to the battle phase here, and we'll take you through a look at how that actually works. So starting off with the first player, which is purple. Have a look at their board. Okay, so that's their battle card that they can use to modify in battles, and these are the 3 creatures they've got so far. As you can see, their point tracker has moved across according to the types of cards that they've drawn, and that's the same for the red as well and for the blue. So how do we actually fight? Okay, so fighting works out you attack each player either side of you, completely depending on which you want to do first. So there may be a strategic reason for that, but I'm going to start by attacking blue first. So if I look at their cards, they've got earth and myth creatures. I have earth, air and fire creatures. Now you can only defend with the same type of creature, so bear that in mind when you're attacking. That's a good thing. So I'm going to attack with my fire creature here, this little guy, for 4. Now blue can't defend because they haven't got a fire creature to defend with, and they haven't got any battle cards, so they can't use any of those. So this lucky player here wins that battle, and they gain 2 green battle gems, which then gets put on their board there. So that's done. So I've attacked that player and I have won. So I will then do the same this side, because you attack both sides using the same creature or creatures if you're using more than one of the same element type, both sides. So I'm going to be attacking with this red one. Now red actually has got a fire card, so they can defend with that. It's not going to make much of a difference because they're not going to win, but defends with that. This is 3 and this is 4, so 4 beats 3, so we win that battle as well. So we take 2 more gems. Okay. Right, so for example, saying if this was the other way around, so saying I was attacking with this card and this person was defending with this, obviously the numbers are in reverse, so I wouldn't have actually won that. So when you lose, you actually take 2 red battle gems instead, which are -1 point each. And obviously this gets taken into consideration at the end of the game when it comes to scoring. But that wasn't the case, but I just wanted to show you that. The attacking player exhausts that card, so that can't be used for the rest of the game. The defending player never exhausts their card, it's just defending. Okay, so purple's done, and it's attacked both sides. Now it's on to the red player, so let's see what they're going to do. Right, so I'm going to attack with my red card as well. I'll put that there. because blue hasn't got any fire creatures to defend with. So I would win that one. So I'd get 2 green battle gems. And then because purple had exhausted their red card, they can't defend anymore with that card. So again, I would win that. Now, if I really wanted to, I could play this battle card, which gives me +2. But it's not enough to actually defend successfully, so that's pretty pointless, so we're not going to do that. So they win another 2 points. And then this card for them is exhausted. So, third up is blue. Let's see what they're going to do. So, I think we're going to go for green, because neither of the other players have green, so they can't defend. So I would attack red. They can't defend because they haven't got any myth creatures. So I would get 2 battle gems, but if you look on my board, I actually have in my research lab this here, which means I get +1 battle gem. So I get 3. So that's cool. And then I attack the other side. They've got no myth creatures either, so I win that. So I take another 3. So rather than just 2, because I took that battle gems card here and put it in one of my research labs, I actually get 1 extra battle gems. So that's really cool. So I've done both of my battles. That's exhausted. We can just flip that over for the time being. And that is how a round of battles goes in Creature College. Obviously, if you have more of these, you can change the outcome. So you can stack them and make it harder for people to win. You only ever get negative gems if you're the attacking player and you lose. So if you lose and you're defending, there's no benefits or losses there. So that hopefully gives you a overview as how the battle phase goes. And then we do this, we go into winter, and then we start bidding again, but we draw the cards from this deck, and so on and so forth for 3 turns. And we get to the battle phase, we do that again. Then we move on to spring, and we draw from this deck, and we do the same again. The only one thing that I'm missing out, which I will show you now, is if you draw this little guy. You will learn to hate him very, very quickly. And that's Kevin the Gigapig. All this means is that after a round of bidding, so I mean you've bid for your cards, you've rolled the dice, you've taken whether it be battle cards, victory points, element track cards, or battle gems. Once you've done that and everybody else has done that, you then have to fight this guy straight away. And if you lose against him, you get 3 red gems. Bearing in mind, these get harder. There's 1 in each of the seasons, and he progressively gets harder to beat, and there's no benefits to winning against him. You don't get anything other than the fact you can say, yeah, I've beat Kevin the Gigapig. Other than that, Kevin the Gigapig is a massive douche, but he's kind of cute at the same time, so we'll let him off. And that is Creature College. That is an overview. Obviously there are a few stipulations in terms of fine detail rules when it comes to defending and cards and stuff like that, but you know, you would pick that up by playing the game and obviously reading the rules in greater detail. I just wanted to show you an overview as how the game plays out. So what do I think to Creature College? Well, join me in the next segment. So, Creature College, what did I think to it? I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. For me personally, this definitely works with more players than less. I thought the artwork was really cute and fun. I liked the idea of it. It contained a lot of elements from other games that I really enjoy, and it puts them together really well. I enjoyed the battling. It's very reminiscent to sort of like Magic the Gathering, and the whole element track where you're gaining points through that is you know, it's an element that you could get from most Euro games, so I enjoyed that. I like the idea of you battling players either side of you with the same creature as well. It's interesting with the battle cards because you can usually always screw someone over, which is funny when you're doing it until it happens to you. There was an incident when I got screwed over right at the end and I wasn't best pleased, but that aside, it was still funny what happened. And there's a lot of moments like that where, you know, you will bid on something that you really need, usually to get your mission, because the missions are worth a lot of points, like 20 to 25 points. So that's a huge chunk of your points, you know, your victory points. And you'll bid on something and then someone will bid on the same thing and bounce you. So that's why I really like the idea of using your 9, you know, it's the highest bidding token you have. And if you use that, no one can bounce that. But once you've used it, that's it. It's gone for the whole game, just like all of the other bidding tokens. But I really like that side of it. It was just funny. It had loads of elements of like take that, but then you were working on your own sort of your myth track to get the point. You've got your missions, you've got the research labs where you can gain victory points or battle gems or improve your myth track. So there was loads of different strategies that you could use to win the game. So it's not like you're not stuck for choice there. And I just found it really funny. I mean, I love the artwork. It was cute, and then some ones are there's this one with a cat which just makes me laugh because he just looks really sinister. The game made me smile, it made me laugh, and I really liked the elements that were brought in the game. And there were a fair few different mechanics involved in the game, which actually surprised me, because when I first looked at the game, looking at the artwork, I thought it was going to be a fairly watered down kind of game. That's not the case. There is a lot in here, a lot to think about, but at the same time being visually appealing. And it just makes me smile. It made me laugh. Like I said, for me personally, I preferred playing it with more players. Although you can play it with less, I just felt like I had a better experience with more players. There was more laughs to be had, there was more going on, and especially with the bidding. The bidding's definitely, that's a huge element of the game, and it just works better with more players than less. So, you know, you're bumping each other off certain cards and you're just like, oh, you know what, deep breaths. It's funny. I like the fact that you can screw people over. Like I said, it's really funny when it happens, when you're doing it to certain people, but when they do it to you, not so much. You actually just want to grab them. And anyways, but yeah, Creature College, I really enjoyed it, and it was a lot of fun. So if it looks like it's your cup of tea, your sort of thing, it'll be available in September on Kickstarter. So keep an eye out for that. I will put a link when it goes live on the video anyway, so if you click on that, it'll take you to the Kickstarter page. But all in all, I really enjoyed it, and there's a lot of fun and laughs to be had with Creature College.